This guy was going around asking women, and mostly black women, asking these women, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a broke guy who's still a father and who's at home, and around for your kids, but he broke? Or would you rather have a financially stable man and pay the child support? My heart is racing, y'all. Do you know every last one of these said that they would rather have the check? Every one of them said they would rather have the check.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 11 here on Inside the Culture podcast. Y'all gotta excuse my voice. I'm just getting my voice back. I was hoarse for like last couple of days, but that's not going to stop me from doing what I have to do up here on these YouTube streets. But if you guys are finding me for the very first time and you enjoy content talking about culture, talking about our culture, talking about solutions and how we can just elevate our people to something that we have been missing for a long time, and that is knowledge, and that is pulling ourselves out of certain ignorance so we can achieve certain things and build wealth and understand what it takes to be a family, and why family is important, why structure is important, why all of the roles that we play in this community, male and female, are so important for not only us, but our children and the next generation. That's why I decided to invest in Inside the Culture podcast. And I would love for you guys to invest in me. And all you got to do is hit that like button. Look, man, when we talk about family structure, 80% of us were born probably to a single mother in our community. And a lot of us have grown up, if you're, my age or older. I'm 40, by the way. A lot of us grew up in the late 80s. I remember the late 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s before I became an adult. And, all I seen was single mothers in our community. And something happened to our community in the 1960s and the 70s that removed the man out of the house. I don't have to get into any of the details of that. I got videos on that where I break it down to the least common denominator. But I don't have to get into that because you already know it. You already know what this government did to our people. And the thing is, they bestowed something else onto our people, and that is the child support system. And when I say the child support system, I mean it is a system. It's the systematic destruction of men, period. It's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, but it's a man thing. See, you guys gotta understand what's being done in these courts and to these men. My big brother have spent over $260,000 just trying to see his children. See, they separate family court from child support court for a reason. And the reason why they do that is to give the man the runaround, because he's saying something ain't right in seeing his children, but he's in child support court. So they say, go across the hall and handle that, Mr. Smith. We handle child support here. But he's trying to let them know, look, I need to see my children, though. We don't have nothing to do with that, Mr. Smith. Can you pay? And if you can't pay, you're going to jail. And if Mr. Smith goes to jail, he definitely going to lose his job if he did have a job. And if he did have a job, he's taking, they're taking like a third of his check. So that man can't even sustain himself. But I can go on and on and on about how that child support system is. It's a lot of people out here that that know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's a lot of women out here that understand it as well. And we're going to be looking at one woman go in on not only the child support system, but the other women that condone it. Let's take a look.
I just watched the video and I'm so fucking embarrassed, bro. I'm so fucking embarrassed. This guy was going around asking women, and mostly black women, asking these women, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a broke guy who's still a father and who's at home, you know, and around for your kids, but he broke? Or would you rather have a financially stable man and pay the child support? My heart is racing, y'all. Do you know every last one of these bitches said that they would rather have the check? Every one of them bitches said they would rather have the check. I get the check. It's not a big check, but I get the check. I give anything to have my kids' daddy at home. Anything. Anything, bro. You bitches want the check? You bitches want the fucking check. I'm so embarrassed to be a black woman right now because you hoes want the fucking check. I'd rather have my baby's daddy at home. My ex-husband, I was married. I'd rather have him at home than the check. You hoes are sick. Sick! And he ain't broke. Let me get that straight. He ain't broke because he paid bills. I was a stay-at-home mom for 9 years. He ain't broke. Life happens. But baby, you hoes a mess. You hoes are a mess. And you need to check yourself. The Most High is not happy with that shit. You hoes rather have a check. Unbelievable.
So the thing is with this case, it's a lot to unpack with this woman just presented and the things that she was saying. You guys got to understand that it's women out here that had husbands, and you guys can even look at Tyrese, ex-wife. She came out and said, you know, it was a lot of people in her ear. She wished she never gotten that divorce.
I work with women. I would never tell a woman to walk through that in the same frame of mind I was in when I did it.
And when you say that, but what frame of mind was that? What do you mean by that in particular?
I was very, very hurt. I was very angry. And I remember, like, when I made, like, the decision, I was, like, hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney. That was not the person I should have been on the phone with when, like, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I was hysterically crying. And I was not in any position to make that decision. I was extremely emotionally intoxicated. We can be intoxicated with our emotions. The truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision. No.
Wow.
I wouldn't. And that's the truth.
And there's a lot of women out here who regret getting divorces because trying to put a permanent solution to a temporary problem can be detrimental down the road. And I believe this lady realized that once she got her divorce. Is there any women out there that's watching this video that regret getting a divorce? Go down in the comment section and let me know. But it is women out here who are just looking back at the situation and like, wow, you know, I did have it good. And the reason she's probably getting that check is because she got to keep up a certain lifestyle. She said her ex-husband, he wasn't a broke man. But my issue with what she's saying is, I just got to divorce myself. And if you did not want to put your ex-husband on child support, it wouldn't happen. My ex didn't put me on child support. You see, because she looks at that child support system same way I do. So I got questions right there. Like, why are you, if you're feeling so strongly about what these women were saying, why are you getting the check? Now it's probably levels to that she probably ain't have time to get into, and I understand that. So I respect her for that. So I do have that question though. But for the most part, she's right. We live in a community right now where, and the check is not even big. Like she said, like, look, these women aren't getting $15, $2,000, $3,000 a check. They're getting like $150, $200. You know what I'm saying? And that shows you how much these men are making out here, because that's a third of these men's checks. Like, a lot of black men out here don't have good jobs. They have low-level jobs, and it's a lot of black women out here that are in middle management that's making more money than the men anyway. It's a lot of women out here who are bitter, who just want to, disrupt this man's life. And it's a lot of women out here that actually want to work with the man, but the man is an asshole and he's doing fuckboy shit. So she feels she has to be forced to go down there and get that child support. I can't tell her not to, but at the end of the day, what that child support system does to our community and the communities across America is a very, very detrimental. It hinders a lot, and we allow it to happen. My whole thing is, we need legislation that will change this law. This law was put into place back in 1947 by Franklin D. Roosevelt to, help out these families of the men coming home from the war, and they having PTSD and PTSD, and they're going ham, and these wives were stay-at-home wives, and they were leaving. They were getting the divorce because this man is waking up, going crazy based upon what he's seen and what he witnessed and what he did in that war, and they were getting the divorces. So it's like, okay, the women wasn't working. So he devised this plan to have a child support system. But that system in 1947, it is way different now. Back then it was, based upon you getting a divorce. Today, Keisha could meet Ray Ray in the club, they have sex, bam, it's just Ray Ray's responsibility, period. And he's going to be put on child support to the point where whoever signs the birth certificate is financially responsible. He don't even have to be the child's father. I seen a story where this guy was paying for fucking years and years and years, and he found out that wasn't his child. They didn't give him his money back. He can't, they're just gonna be like, my bad, state like, my bad. But it's a lot going on in our community to where it is just getting, we're just getting inundated with breaking up, family structure, and not having masculinity, and not having these fathers in these children's lives. And on top of that, these guys can get locked up for this debt. You're taking this working class citizen, never been locked up before, because he can't pay. You're taking him to jail with murderers, R-words, and just a lot of people who are bad people for society. And now I have to be next to these people. So it's a lot to unpack here. I just want you guys to go down in the comment section and start this conversation. And, let me know about y'all experiences as well, because that's what this channel is for. That's what this podcast is for. That's all I got on this situation. appreciate you guys coming. Like I said, if you enjoyed this content, please make sure that you hit that like button. If you don't do anything, you don't got to subscribe. Just hit the like button because it shares the video around YouTube and it helps my channel get found and the videos as well. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay unplugged from false narratives. I'm out. Catch you on the next video. Peace.